Hi, and welcome to the Sit Down with Suzanne podcast. I am your host, Suzanne.
Bum, 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 positively Susan, positively Susan, ba ba bum 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 ba bum ba da da dum ba 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 positively Susan.
All right, and it's time for a brand new show. So, the idea behind this show, Sit Down with Suzanne, and for those of you who don't know, I am Suzanne. But the idea was to envision a place where you're sitting down with your closest friends, with your loved one, with family members, and you're just talking about the issues of life. You're talking about things that come up, things that pop up, and my overall motto never changes. My tenets, my foundation, which is to inspire, to motivate, and to empower. And within everything that I do, I will remain positive, whatever the circumstances, whatever story that I'm talking about. And I'm just so excited about 2020 and the different ideas for shows that God has laid into my heart that I know that it's going to bless somebody, it's going to help somebody, and we're going to remain positive throughout it all. So, and I hope when you're listening to the show, and I love to get the feedback, weekly, what you thought about the show. And I also like to get the little scorecard, to get additional episode. And like, I don't get caught up in the actual numbers of who listen. Like I said, I've mentioned that before, but to see which episode, somebody downloaded or listened to that week is so much fun for me. It is so humbling just to see what episode. And I will tell you, one of my most popular episode, it's Beyonce's love song to Brown Skin Girl. It still continues to get plays every week and everybody listens to it. So I hope it brought something to you. There is a few episodes that I released, a lot of episodes on one day, and I'll share them on my social media pages. But listen, there is one on there that I'm talking about, my experience growing up and being accused of not being black enough, and what that meant to me. So listen to that episode. Um, as you know, I will be answering a question from someone. And the last question, somebody had asked me about, what are my favorite traditions for the holiday season. And I know that I've also asked you guys to send me ideas of places to go. I'm thinking of my vacation for next year. And my best friend had given me some ideas of the places that she has visited. But there was just so much to do, so many different places to go. So continue to send me the ideas. I can't wait to act on that. And I think I've answered this question before. Who would be my ideal guest? And people, you all know it's Oprah. Like I said, so I'm gonna put this out there. I'm gonna manifest this. Oprah will be my ideal guest, and yes, I'm probably gonna end up staring at her. It's okay. I just would like to talk to Oprah about everything. Just remaining confident and how she persevered, when she was in the spotlight, and everybody talked about her weight and her looks and everything, and how did she manage to stay sane, how did she remain positive, and how did she push through every single day. And then another person that I would like to talk to that I listened to, Joel Olstein. If you don't know who he is, Joel Olstein Ministries, I listened to him. He helped me a lot. After dad passed away, I would listen to his sermons in the morning, and I listen to him most times when I'm going back and forth, from work, and he has been a blessing. So I was listening to one of his shows the other day, and he was talking about, praying for others. And he talks about, just how we can intercede and pray for others, and we pray for ourselves. So I am constantly saying to somebody that I'm going to lift them up in prayer, and I'm hoping that each time I say that, I actually do lift them up in prayer. But I am going to pray for Joel Osteen. And I know a lot of people are probably like, what? He doesn't need any prayer. But, I know that people who do the work for the Lord, they get persecuted, they get attacked, and the weapons of our warfare are not carnal. So I know that he is getting attacked on so many levels. So I will lift him up in prayer. But he would be a good person to talk to, just to talk about faith and remaining positive in this world. So anyway, those are my two guests that I would love to sit down and chat with. But it is called Sit Down with Suzanne for a reason. I'm going to be sitting down with somebody talking about something. And if I don't have any guests, I will be here talking about life, talking about, issues and health and fashion and beauty and culture and all of that. So, all right. So this week I am talking about collaboration over competition. um I see it happening so much, women competing with each other. And I shouldn't say women, I should say girls. And I've seen, I'll quote post that I see. Um, and I'm not taking credit for it. I saw it and it said, girls compete and women collaborate. And that is absolutely true. One of the saddest things for me is to see two women that could be so incredible together. If they pooled their resources, they could be even more successful together. But instead, they compete, which ends up diminishing them, and they don't realize that they could have achieved greater success if they had worked together. So I'm still getting over a cold, so my voice is a little scratchy, so I do apologize for that. I'm trying to drink some water without it coming up. So, like I mentioned, a lot of times if women collaborate and put their heads together, they'll be able to create amazing things. They'll be able to do so much more. And it hurts me when I see women competing against each other instead of collaborating, instead of learning from each other, instead of strategizing, instead of creating a community. So I've always felt that we'd be stronger together. And a lot of times, I'll meet women and sometimes they'll see me as competition. And, it's unfortunate because I'm not competing. It's not something that I do. I don't compete in looks, in profession, unless it's a competition, then that's a different story. But just like in everyday life, like you see a woman, compliment her, tell her she's doing great, tell her that you admire her. And I do try to do that to women that I know and women that, I come across. And sometimes women that don't know me, you'll give them a compliment and they don't quite know where you're coming from. And, they look at you strangely and wonder, what is your end game? And that's it. Isn't it awful that we're so distrustful of each other, that when a woman pays us a compliment, we don't trust it because we're wondering if there's an ulterior motive. And, hey, maybe that's the way it used to be, but it shouldn't be that way. Because I know that women, we are stronger together. We are about building, we're about lifting and uplifting. So I'm going to encourage you, if you are trying to do something, and I'm not saying to tell somebody your entire game plan, somebody you don't trust, because there are untrustworthy people in the world. But if you're trying to build something and another woman has already done it, reach out to her and ask, for some help, for some guidance. And I hope you, the other person who have done it, who have made it, has no qualms about reaching back and helping somebody, and making sure that you're not the only one with a seat at the table, making sure that you're not the only one sitting at the board meeting. It is nice to look around and see other people like you. It's nice to look around and see other like-minded folks. So I'm just going to encourage you. Collaboration over competition, no matter what it is, whatever you're doing, no two people are alike. So, when I went to the podcast in Atlanta, there I was in a room with hundreds of women who were podcasters, but it wasn't any competition. It wasn't, this is better, this is worse. Everybody had a podcast about something different. And that's what I love about the world of podcasting. It is your individual and unique voice. And I'm gonna tell you something. Some of these ladies have multiple podcasts. I don't know how they do it. I am not ready for that yet, child. I don't know how they do it, but it's also different. And I listen to different ones. Summer, I listened to hers, the unconventional woman. I actually did an episode with Monique Caradine Kitchens, and she does Sisternomics. And there's just so many podcasters. Danielle Deshear, she actually has this whole platform, Women of Color Podcasters. There's just so many talented women that have podcasts that I honestly can't listen to them all. And luckily, I have a commute to work, and I listen to the podcast as I'm going to work. But everybody has a unique voice. Everybody has a different story to tell. Everybody can go to the same experience and get a different reality from it, a different life lesson. So stop worrying about them being your competition. And their shine can't stop your shine, and your shine won't stop their shine. How about you shine together? I had written a post about millions of stars in the skies, and they all shine. Nobody's worrying about outshining each other. I found another post the other day. I don't remember who it was by. I actually posted it on my site. Flowers don't worry about, the other flowers blooming or something like that. They just bloom. And this is what I'm saying to you, sisters. This is what I'm saying to you, ladies. Don't compete. Just shine. Just bloom. Don't try to dim the light of somebody else. Help them. If you saw that their light is plugged out, plug it in. Shine together. Have you ever seen a Christmas tree? One light on a Christmas tree? It doesn't work. Plug in all the lights. Let all the beauty shine forth. So personally, there's a couple of ladies that are in my life that are doing multiple things, and I'm encouraging them to continue to do that. I want them to know that I'm proud of them, and I let them know that. And then there's a couple of people that they're not friends per se, they're acquaintances. They're doing, a couple of different things. I have no challenges reaching out to them and says, hey, I see you, I acknowledge you, I am proud of you, because I am. I feel proud when I see other women succeeding. And men, I'm sorry, don't feel bad if I do have any male listeners to this podcast, except my husband and Roger and Teddy. I got to call them out. They're my three male guests that I know about so far, right? So, but women, I like to see you shine. I like to see you succeed. And if there's anything that I can ever do to help you succeed, absolutely. When I'm going out, with my girls, and they're like, they'll say like, what are you wearing? I was like, whatever I want, because I love dressing up. I love gowns, and my true friends know that about me, and they know that when I dress up, it's not about outshining anybody. It's not about, looking better than anybody. It's about me just loving gowns and sparkles and stilettos and just dressing up. And I would love if my friends, but I have a few friends that do not like getting into gowns. Like my friend Nataki, I've been trying to get that girl in a gown for a very long time. So I told her that one day I'm going to have a party and she has to wear a gown. Has to wear a gown. So we're working on that. But it's not a competition. It's just me loving to dress up. And, when I go out with girls and I'm like, wear whatever you want. I want them to wear gowns. I would love to get dressed up with a bunch of my friends and just go to a fabulous party, have a ball, and then, come home and do the homework and get the kids' lunch ready and all of that. But anyway, I think I've strayed from the point a little bit. But it was just talking about, women being collaborators, women being teammates, women being buddies, partners, whatever word you want to use. And uplifting each other and helping each other build and grow and doing different things. And if you know something, share it. Mentor. I did a show about mentoring. Granted, it was on the collegiate level, but mentoring happens in all walks of life. If you have made it in a certain arena and you see somebody who is trying to make it in that arena, why not share your insight and your feedback? Don't worry about they're going to come and get what you have, because what's for you, and there is this church girl again, right? Here is this believer, but what's for you is for you. Somebody can't take it from you, right? It's kind of like they say, if your husband's for you, nobody can take him. I kind of think that's the truth, right? If he's yours, he's yours. So ladies and gentlemen too, if you're listening, but for my female fans, I'm talking to you about how do you collaborate with another woman? How do you let another woman know that you see her? Because I'm telling you, sometimes a woman could be going through something and, just at the moment of giving up, and you say to them, hey, I see you. I see you're shining. Can you imagine how empowering that would be for them? And they just shake it off, and you might not even know what you did for them. So reach out. I'm gonna encourage you this week. Reach out to somebody different, somebody that you haven't really connected with. It's an acquaintance. Just say, hey, I see you. Kudos. I'm proud of you. Congrats. Way to shine. Way to go. Share some tips, some feedback, some insight. I'll also caution you though, sometimes when you're giving advice, people don't want it. And if they don't want it, that's okay, because you gave it in good faith, right? So I'm just going to encourage you this week again. Reach out to somebody different. Actually, you know what? Not only just somebody different, because sometimes we overlook the people that are close to us, that we can encourage and uplift and empower. So go ahead and do that. And I know a lot of times I'll see on social media, they'll say, support small business, and the best way to support and encourage a friend, like their tweets and like their posts, and, leave a comment and say, great job, or yes, and proud of you, and whatever it is. I mean, we interact via social media a lot of times. So you give feedback to folks that you don't know. And, just like how we're comfortable, dropping a like on Beyonce's page or Nicki Minaj or Cardi B or LeBron or whoever you follow. And, you'll say great job. And, and they already have millions of followers that are saying these things to them. And I'm not saying it's not significant, it's not important, but you have a friend who's doing something on social media and you're not giving them a like, you're not just dropping a comment, you're not saying great job, and that's on you. You own that. So I'm going to encourage you to support them, to like, to share, to talk about, what they're doing. I know that not all my friends listen to the podcast, and that's okay. Sometimes you don't grow where you're comfortable, and that just simply means that it might not be for them, and that's okay. But I'm always going to encourage, and I met a lot of women at the conference, and I'll talk about this a lot just because She Podcast was a great experience for me, and I gained so much from it, and it's the gift that keeps on giving, because I do get more every single week. There's something new that pops up because of that experience. But I'll see the different podcasters that I met there, and I'll like their things on social media. Yes, I do read posts before I like it. I don't just like anything, but they are doing some really positive things, and I'm just excited to see people do well. So is there somebody that you can collaborate with on something? Is there somebody that's doing something that you wanted to ask them, hey, how you doing it? Oh, quick story. The other day, one of the podcasters, she had shared something and I really liked her post, and I DM'd her and I said, hey, really like that post, tell me how you did that. And she told me how she did that, no question, why do you want to know or anything. She just shared that. It was awesome. And it might have seemed simple, but I know sometimes people don't want to share. I know that there are amazing sisterhoods and amazing girlfriends and amazing women that connect. And I know that they are a great example of what collaboration is. But there is still too many women who see each other as competition. There's still too many women who, when they see a woman, walk in, they're looking at them from head to toe, sizing them up and comparing. Stop comparing yourself. See a queen walk in, tell her she's fabulous and move on. Doesn't take anything away from your queendom. You still look fabulous. So, ladies, collaborate over competing. All right? That is the topic today. It's going to be a very short episode. I had a few technical difficulties during recording the episodes, but love to hear your thoughts and feedback about, collaborating over competition. It's high time, don't you think? I think it's high time that we compete. If you've ever been a part of a team, you'll realize how important collaboration is and that one person can carry the whole team, unless you're Michael Jordan. No. Actually, one of the great things about Michael Jordan was how hard he worked and how committed he was to the overall team. And he actually made everybody better about him. And isn't that a fantastic thing that you work so hard, you're so committed, you're so focused, so dedicated that you make others around you better? That's ultimate, huh? So let's collaborate. Upcoming for 2020, I have to keep talking about it. It is going to be the end of a decade. 2020, new year, new month, wow. Let's start preparing. I know everybody does their New Year's resolution, but what are you going to be doing this year? And I hope the top of that list is some collaboration, ladies, some collaborating over competing. You're going to find a different female and you're going to collaborate on something. I'm going to be reaching out to a few more of these ladies that I met and invite them on my podcast. There was a couple podcasts that I was on. Actually, I have to double check to when I can share the episodes if they've already been posted. But go ahead and share. I actually Googled myself tonight because I was trying to check my website because there was an issue. My computer crashed and I popped up and there was a video of me on YouTube and it was a recording that I did at the conference and I didn't even remember anything about it. And there it was on YouTube. Video lives forever, right? But anyway, I am excited about the upcoming holiday season. It's getting busier and busier at work, but I love the customers. I mean, the other day we were insanely busy and the customer, it was a long line. And I just had so much fun just talking and interacting and singing and dancing and just having a grand old time. At the end of the day, after standing several hours on my feet, I was exhausted and I didn't technically have heels on. I had wedges. So yeah, was not a comfortable, but it was so much fun. So what are you doing this holiday season? And the last episode I had talked about traditions. So send me some of your favorite holiday traditions. Maybe I'll share them on the show. All right. So this is the episode that, like I mentioned, is going to be very, very short. So let me stick to my word. I enjoyed doing it. It was more lighthearted than my previous one, but I think it's still an important conversation to have. And if you would like to be a guest on the show, reach out to me. I am creating a form that you can fill out to let me know, what topic you would like to discuss. And I could certainly go ahead and see if we would be a fit. But until the next episode, this is Suzanne signing off.